every single day and thinking about how horrible it is and how we've been so mistreated and they haven't done us right. But we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. We have to learn to keep our eyes on Jesus Christ, the author and finisher of our faith. That's who we have to learn to focus on. But not only that, we have to remember this, that very seldom are our good deeds remembered by people. Very seldom. Very seldom are our good deeds, all these wonderful things that we do for people on a day-to-day basis, we have to remember that very seldom are they even remembered. And when we realize that, I think that we'll come off better on a day-to-day basis. But Ecclesiastes 9 and 11 says, "Now there was found in it," meaning in a city, "a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city," Larry. "Yet no man remembered that same poor man."
All right now.
You see how we can be as human beings sometimes? This poor man, by his wisdom, he delivered an entire city. But when it was all said and done, no one remembered this same poor man. How does that help you today? Whatever you have done, for whatever company you work for whatever little league sports team that you've been involved in, for whatever high school debate team or whatever, even it may be church, whatever you've done, you need to remember that very seldom are our good deeds going to be remembered by people. But not only that, we need to understand that God remembers our work. God remembers our work. Hebrews 6 and 10 says, "God is not unjust. He will not forget your work and the love you have shown him as you have helped his people and continue to help him." He's the one that, he is eternal. See, your boss and your former boss, they're here today and they're gone tomorrow. They're not eternal, but God is eternal and he remembers our work. That's good news right there. But when we look at that and realize that God remembers our work, somebody's saying, "Well, but that doesn't have anything to do with my boss. I mean, I'm dealing with what I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis and it's very hurtful. It hurts." But this is the next thing. The question is, who are you working for? Amen. Who are you working for on a day-to-day basis? If you're going to work with the intent in your mind and heart that you're working for your boss, then you're sorely confused and you are going to be in a bad situation. You're going to be sad, you're going to be depressed, and you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to say, "I don't want to go to work today." Because you're working for the wrong person. But Colossians 3 and 23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not men." But whatever we do, we need to work at it with all of our heart. But you know what? Sometimes we get so caught up in trying to please and win the favor, and this is probably not even a word, of an unpleasable boss, that we run ourselves ragged trying to make this boss happy that will never be happy. We get so caught up in trying to please the wrong person, but on a day-to-day basis we need to work on pleasing God. But you know what? Instead of focusing on trying to please our boss and do what it is that our boss requires of us, we need to start focusing on what the Lord requires of us. Just focus on what God requires. If we do that on a day-to-day basis, I know somebody may say, "Well, if I do that, then I'm going to get terminated." But God, he will take care of you. David said, "I've been young and now I'm old." And he said, "I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread." Just focus on what God requires. What is it that God requires? Micah 6 and 8 lets us know. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. And then Matthew 11:30, Jesus says that his yoke is easy and his burden, it is light. So when you look at these statements in Micah, they are acts of gratitude, not of purchase. These are not acts of trying to purchase their way in for God to love us, but it's just acts of gratitude. And sometimes we're trying to purchase love from others. So the next time that you're feeling like you've been balled up and thrown away by your job, I want you to ask yourself this question. Am I working for man? Or am I working for God? That's the question that we all need to ask. Am I working for man or am I working for God? So the next time that you start feeling like that all that you've done is overlooked, then you got to remember who it is that you work for. The next time that you feel like your skill set on the basketball court or the football field or wherever it is being overlooked, you have to ask yourself the question, am I doing what I'm doing for my coach? Or am I doing what I'm doing for God? See, our real boss is not our coach. Our real boss is not the CEO of the company, but the real boss, his name is Jesus. So the next time that you have to cut a callus off your sore hands or your sore feet, you need to remember that God is in control. And you need to remember this one verse, Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for the good to them who love God and to them that are called according to his purpose. But the one point of application that I want to challenge all of us with this week, one point of application. This is the only thing I'm asking you to do this week. I want to challenge us this week as we go to work is to work for the audience of one for 1 week. Amen. You know who the audience of one is? The audience of one is God. So for just 1 week, I ask you to just try and as you work, just work for the audience of one. And if you're past the job and you're saying, I can't go back to it because I'm already gone, but you're harboring ill feelings inside your heart, I just want to ask you to do one thing, and that is to forgive. Just forgive whoever it is. But see, forgiveness is not something we do for other people. We do it for ourselves to get well and move on. Somebody you've been bound for too long to some job you've been away from for 10, 12, 15 years. But we have to forgive and move on. But imagine with me what our lives, our community, our jobs, our church would look like if we began to keep our faith in God and not in man. Just imagine with me for a moment what our lives, our community, our church would look like if we keep our faith in God and not in man. You know what? I believe that we would live lives of peace, knowing that regardless of what happens in our lives, that God will take care of us. Regardless of what we're going through, that God will take care of us. There's a great hymn, and I'm going to just kind of walk through it, and then I'm going to take my seat. And it's, be not dismayed, whatever betide. God will take care of you. Beneath his wings of love abide, God will take care of you. Through every day, over all the way, he will take care of you. Through days of toil, when heart doth fail, God will take care of you. When dangers fierce your path assail, God will take care of you. All you may need, he will provide.